Good morning and welcome to Breakthrough Walls. I'm Ken Walls and I'm your host. And I got a dude on today. Y'all are going to love this guy. Got Mr. Darryll Stinson on the show. So hang with us. We'll be right back. And we are back. I want to bring Darryll on. Darryll, welcome to the show.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Bien. ¿Y tú?
Sí, más o menos. That's all I know.
See,
this is the moment where you regret bringing me on.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for stopping by. See you later. So listen, man. As we were talking, hey, there's my buddy Glenn from up in Canada. Hey,
Glenn.
And so I created this show about 2.5 years ago. I've interviewed over 300 celebrities and entrepreneurs, and it's about. This show is all about helping people get unstuck in life. Yeah. And I'm going to just go out there and say there's been a couple of people gotten stuck here in the last 8 months or so. And so I think that by hearing other people's stories, we heal our own wounds, man. So I can't wait to hear yours. I know a little about it. I can't wait to know a lot about it. So let's start with where Darryll was born and raised.
Jacktown, Michigan, the home of Tony Dungy. And he and I are the only famous people from there.
Tony Dungy. Why do I know his name? Who is that?
Oh, famous coach from Indianapolis Colts.
Oh,
Super Bowl,
Tony
got the Powerful Dad organization.
Yeah.
It's my guy.
Are you friends?
We are not, but we're going to be. We know each other from a distance. We've heard each other. He wrote the foreword to my friend Frank Murphy's book, and he's fixing to read mine.
Nice. So you were, and what's the town? What's it called?
Jackson, Michigan. It's about an hour and a half west of Detroit, Michigan.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. So, what was it like growing up there? Is it a small town, big town?
A small town. It's terrible. I mean, it was a place, they say I grew up in the inner city south side of Jackson, poor. I didn't know I was poor till I visited my friend's house in the suburbs. And I said, oh man, they've got a couch.
They got a couch.
And I was singing Kumbaya on the floor, man. And everybody hung out in my bedroom because that was our only furniture we had. So wow. Yeah, but it was great. Lots of black people, lots of white people, not a lot of anything else. 2 public high schools, Lumen Christi, which was really a Christian private school, but they were the other one. You either went to Lumen Christi or you went to Jackson High, which is where I went from. Probably was in middle school when Tony Dungy was there. So it was, it's kind of like a smaller Detroit.
Yeah. Wow. And so you went to high school there. You went the whole, well, we'll get into that. I'm not going to ask that yet, but so did you end up going to college?
I did. Thank God I went to college. I got out. That was my ticket out. Growing up in Jackson, from the inner circle community, we get our beliefs from who we hang around. So the common belief around my circle was in order to be a minority and be successful, you either had to be a rapper or an athlete. So I said, I'm going to do both, whichever one pans out. It just so happened that my athletic ability was a lot better than my ability to rhyme. So I did get a full ride scholarship to play football and basketball at Central Michigan University, where we won MAC championship. And people might not like this part. I played for, hey, what's going on, Tammy? I played for Butch Jones. He was the one who recruited me. He's at Alabama right now, some offensive controller role or something like that. And sports was just really my ticket out of the hood, out of my circumstances. Is the way I was going to be the hero. I was going to buy my mom a house, my dad a car, get my whole family out of poverty, be famous. I wanted to be the best athlete of all time. And I always make that distinction because some athletes just want to go pro. I wanted to be better. I wanted to be like Darryll Stinson will replace the name of Michael Jordan. I promise you, I thought it was going to happen. You couldn't tell me any different. I visualized it. I worked my butt off for it. I was 6'5". I got up to 270 pounds. I ran a 4.5 or 4.6 or 4.4, depending on who's timing. And I thought I was going, man. I thought I was going. And then, just like this pandemic hit our world unexpectedly, I got hit with a back injury. I ruptured a disc in my back trying to impress the upperclassmen with how much I could squat. And I went with a pinched nerve in my back for months because I didn't know the difference between being hurt and being injured. And when your identity is attached to your activity, you'll do stupid things. And so I did stupid things. I had a back surgery. I was supposed to focus on my education and I, get to come around football whenever I want. I had a golden opportunity. But since sports was what I did and who I was, not just what I did stupid things. I signed a liability waiver and I begged the coaches to let me have another shot at playing football. And eventually I convinced them. And the best way I know how to describe this is this, my friend Ken, and all our listeners, is I was supposed to be non-physical contact for a year, and I was back starting within 6 months because me playing hurt was better than the next guy fully healthy.
Wow.
And that began this long journey of putting my body through drug addiction to painkillers and all this stuff, man. Epidural shots in my back. Like I was getting nerve killings, acupuncture, physical therapy, anything that I could do to numb that pain to continue to play that game. Because if I was
it lower back, L4, L5?
There you go. That's the one.
Dude, I've been there, man.
Yeah.
I had nerve against my spinal cord. Dude, there's no pain like it. You can't. I've been stabbed and it doesn't feel the same.
Yeah.
It's painful.
And it hurts everything, especially when it shoots down your legs. I mean, it was terrible, man. I had to sleep. There was a window pane next to my dorm bedroom, and it was about right here, and I had to put my leg propped up like this. Just so I could relieve the tension of the nerve being pinched for long enough to get some rest and try to sleep for a few hours. And I would get up and go to practice and do it all over again.
People don't even know, man.
Yeah.
Like I would put that right up against giving birth to a child.
I would not tell my wife that, just in case she's listening. I do not agree with that, sweetie. Off the record, you're probably right, though.
Dude, I laid in bed for 21 hours straight screaming like a little girl, man.
Yeah.
And my wife, who does not swear, she walked in finally and she said, "You're going to the Blanken ER, or I'm calling the Blanken police and having you removed from this house."
See, that's what we have in common, man. I didn't know. When I finally got my MRI, I had to have emergency back surgery. That's how long I went with it being hurt.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Jeez, man.
So crazy. Yeah.
It's crazy,
you're right.
man.
Back pain is horrendous. You guys are exactly right.
So you injured your back, showing off. I feel a theme coming on here, Darryll. So you injured your back and went through all that. How long did that last? About a year or so before
I came back to play?
Yeah.
No. So when I injured it, I went winter workouts and summer workouts. So it was about 6 months, and then had this surgery, and I was back within 2 months competing, and then I earned a starting position within 6. So I didn't even sit out an entire season before I was starting.
Oh my gosh, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Dude, that's insane.
Yeah.
You're a beast. So And how long did you play then after you got into
I
that?
played for 2 years, and it
With an
probably
injured back?
injured back. And you can
Come
watch
on.
the film, and it looks terrible. I mean, I'm athletic, so I'm chasing down running backs and I'm making some plays, but you can tell I'm in pain, man. You can see me catching instead of like throwing my weight around. You could see me limping because of the tension still in my back. But it was all because I just had to make it. I just had to make it. If I could just numb it a little bit more, if I could just get that opportunity, they'll see how fast I am. They'll see how strong I am, and I'll make that opportunity, and then I'll be able to pay some like rare doctor to like heal me, and then everything will be all right. And it just didn't work out that way.
Wow, man. You really had that. You had the vision.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
So what happened after that?
Well, it started not to work. You know, all of my games, my gimmicks, my lying to the athletic director started to catch up with me. My addiction was getting really bad to the opioid pills because I was taking so many that it was thinning my blood to the point where every time I made contact on the field, my nose would bleed.
Oh,
My trainers and my coaches said, man, something's not right, man. He's having nosebleeds every practice and games, and we got to take him out. And so something's not right. So they just said, look, going into my senior year, they were like, we don't know what you're doing, bro, but we can't let this continue. And they kicked me off the team. And I got pissed. I've got so frustrated. I stormed out. I probably knocked over some equipment in the weight room. And I just said, man, you guys just quit on me. See, that's all you care about is you want me when I'm healthy. You don't want to help me. And I was blaming everybody but myself. And I knew they were right deep down inside. And then I had to face this dark thing that we call depression because I had to face the reality that I had cheated my way through college. I had the right degree, but I didn't have the right experience. I wasn't prepared for the workforce. I didn't know who I was outside of sports. I didn't want to do anything else besides play sports. So when people were like, find your passion, I'm like, dude, hello, my passion was sports. So I can't do that. And it was really frustrating. And at the same time, I had a girlfriend who I was dating for 4.5 years. She's my high school sweetheart, was playing in the Marrier, and I called her to confide in her and tell her, man, I'm really struggling with suicidal thoughts and depression. And she started talking to me like a kid. She's like, well, that's okay, Darryll. You know, it's okay. And I'm like, what's going on? Why are you talking to me like that? Like, baby, honey, sweetie, like, what's going on? She wasn't saying it. Well, come to find out, she had gotten engaged to another guy. And that was it for me, man. Girl was gone. Sports was gone. I'm like, there's no reason for me to continue. Then I had the real transition challenges to deal with. And I talk about it in that book, Who Am I After Sports? Because I went from feeling like on top of the world to feeling like a nobody. You know, I couldn't when you're an athlete, you have all these people asking you for autographs, media wanting to feature you for interviews. You've got coaches who call and checking on you, players, camaraderie, and then you transition out of sports and it's like silence. And so that just played on my insecurity. And I was like, man, you know what? I don't matter without sports. And so sports is never coming back. Then what's the point of me being here? And that began this train of suicidal ideations. And I started playing around with suicide, mixing pills and alcohol, swallowing all of my oxycodones that I had, hoping that I wouldn't wake up the next day.
And you did this on purpose?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't want to, I had no desire to keep going anymore.
Yeah.
I was hopeless, and I thought I was helpless.
You know, man, we just met and we don't really know each other, but I can totally relate, man. I have 18 years of sobriety. I'm a recovered alcoholic, and I spent many years trying to drink myself to death.
Wow. Let me show you something. Watch this. This is random, but I know you can roll with the punches. Watch this.
I can roll.
Let me show you something.
I can roll.
All right. You ready?
Yep, I'm ready. You're full screen.
All right, look at this. Can you read that?
Look at that. Yeah, I can see that.
I gotta hide the information.
Yeah.
Hold on. There we go. Can you see that?
Look at that.
Look at this.
Wow. What?
Look at that. Yesterday. Addiction recovery.
Yesterday?
Yesterday, the new people that came to visit our program.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, we
Wow.
have 12 different partners throughout Gwinnett County, help a lot of people recover from addiction. Yeah.
Dude, that you just gave me chills, man. You just gave me chills. That's incredible.
Yeah. And you know what
And
I told them? You know what I told them yesterday?
Here's my
Oh God, yes. Yeah, we give those away.
18 years, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I would grab that too, but it's in the other room.
By the grace of God.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, man, and I'm so glad. And you know what? I'm gonna share this because I shared it to my timeline. We have a little private Facebook group. I'm sharing it in there too, so they can see that. Because I literally just told them yesterday, right? I just told them yesterday. You guys are going to be able to reach people that others can't because you can relate. You've been through the real deal, man.
Yep.
And you'll have a level of humility and transparency and vulnerability because, dude, if you can deal with addiction to drugs and go through sobriety, you can go about anything. And so I told them, man, I told them, and you're in exactly a great story to share with them. And I didn't even know that about you. And,
no, you didn't.
And look at that. So I just told them that. Well, now I'm working that into my story, man. So your name's coming up like every Wednesday now.
Dude, you can bring it up every day, man. My anonymity is I don't care. I don't like it. I don't. Anybody wants to judge me, man? Come on, bring it.
Well,
on,
it's not who you are anymore, right?
No,
if anything,
it's not.
It speaks more highly of you because you went through that, and now look at what you've done with your life, man.
Yeah.
And oh God. Dude, you're gonna get me excited now.
So you're 6'5".
Yeah, I am.
So
if I stood up,
you're a little feller.
I like to think so. People, you know what? I used to get so mad when people would walk around, look at me like I'm just like 9'12" or something. They're like, and I'm like, man, I am not that tall, you know. And then I walked past somebody who was 7'6", and I was like, oh man, I was like, okay, I get it now.
Wow.
That's so airplanes are not my best friend.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. My little brother's 6'5.5". So I always, and I'm only 6 foot. So there was this point in our childhood where he started whooping on me.
Oh,
so
man.
Yeah, but so you were toying around with this thought of suicide, and you were taking some pills and drinking and trying to end it. Where did things go?
I was driving 75 miles per hour down a 35 mile per hour road. And my plan was to drive off onto this intersecting highway, kind of this little pasture where you could not go over the bridge, but you can drive onto the highway that was under it. And that is how I was going to officially end it all. My phone was on silent, but something inside of me said, pick up your phone. And I saw that my mother was calling me, and mother had that intuition that something was wrong with her baby boy. And so she called me, and I picked up the phone. I said, hello. She said, I don't know what's wrong, sweetie, but come to me, please. I was in Mount Pleasant, Michigan at the time, which was about 2.5 hours away from Detroit. I drove, she convinced me to drive to Detroit. So I drove 2.5 hours, and it felt like 10 minutes. I was crying the whole time, fighting the urge not to drive onto oncoming traffic. And I get there, and she tries to get me to eat. I had been trying to starve myself to death. Last time she saw me, I was 275 pounds. By the time I got to her, I was 219 from trying to starve myself to death. So she tries to get me to eat. I think I maybe managed to get down some soup. And then when she went to bed, I was like, no, forget this. This is stupid. I don't want to deal with this pain anymore. So I try to go get in the car to go back and finish my plan. And she heard the screen door shut. She runs out there. She throws herself on the hood of my car. She says, let me take you to get help, please.
Wow.
She takes me to the psychiatric unit. And it was in the psychiatric unit that I found something dangerous to the darkness of depression. You know what it is? Hope.
Yeah.
And I found hope in a psychiatric unit that my life actually might have purpose beyond sports, that maybe God can take my pain and use it to help others. Maybe my story can help. Maybe my life matters. Maybe I matter. And I live to tell the story.
Wow. Wow. That's powerful, man. That's powerful.
Yeah.
So,
is this too much for 11 o'clock in the morning or 9, wherever you're watching?
Man, I feel like I need some more coffee now. So you, God, I can relate to all. I can remember being in meetings of Alcoholics Anonymous, and there was always a sign laying on the floor in the middle of the room, and it said, "Hope is found here." And I mean, dude, I was really twisted. So I thought Hope was some chick I was gonna meet.
Hey, that brings hope sometimes too, don't it?
I was like, "Where's Hope, man? I can't find her." But so I just kept going back looking, but no, I'm kidding, kind of. But like what? So you found this in this psychiatric unit of a hospital, and so where did you go from there? I mean, it didn't all. It wasn't like it all changed instantly overnight, and the next day you were on my wife's on here. Whoops.
See, you tried to get me in trouble with the wife, man. See, he's got to learn. He's got to learn some lessons. She said, "Miss Hope."
This is Joe's fault. It's Joe's fault. It's all his. So you I mean, what happened from there? Where did you how long were you there, and how did you transition back into life?
So I really, okay, I'm going to say this, but do not sue the place that I went to. I was supposed to be there for a minimum of 3 to 5 days. Anytime you attempt, that was the law back then. And I think it's 3 now, but it was 3 to 5. And I did change instantly. I had a faith conversion in a psychiatric unit, and it's an interesting story. But I was there for less than 24 hours. Now, the whole story about being there was crazy. Like, I got hustled for money. I literally watched people get shot up with drugs. I mean, the place was just terrible. Wow. I heard people scream all through the night. Like, it was a really traumatic experience. I kind of don't let my mind go there too much, but I was out within 24 hours.
Wow.
And then I go to this church service, and the next day they're talking about suicide. I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. So this is supposed to happen. And so anyways, my life, I was a new person. I had new desires, difference, like everything was different about me when I had that hope. But it did take some time to figure out what is my purpose beyond sports. What do I want to do with my life? Who am I called to impact? What skills am I going to develop? And so it took some time for that. It took about 5 years of deep reflection and research. And, that's why I wrote the book, because what took me 5 years to learn, I packaged in here in our Athletes Transition Roadmap.
Who am I after sports?
Who am I after sports?
Show the book. Show the whole thing. There you go.
See.
Who am I after sports? Nice, dude.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So you guys should go get it. Help me pass Tom Brady on the rankings. That would make me and Ken very, very happy.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Go get that book. Come on.
Yeah. And if you guys go to the website, Second Chance Athletes, we've got some cool bonuses. Exclusive interview with me and David Meltzer. It's probably one of his best ones he's done. We've got the first 5 lessons of my purpose made profitable course. We've got the ebook format and all of these interviews that I've been doing with some of these experts during my book launch. So it's a lot of good content. So I'll trade you a couple of $100 for $15 or $20 for the book. So yeah, and you help us get the message of mental health to athletes who need it. And I always say this, we cheer for people. during the game. We wear their jerseys. Let's cheer for them after the game. So it took me about 5 years to self-reflect, reading everybody's courses, listening to influencers like yourself, talk about purpose and meaning. I mean, I bought everybody's stuff, read everybody's thing, went on week-long experiences. I prayed like a monk, you know, like trying to figure out what this thing is. I lived in the library. And then finally I got to this place in life where I was like, you know what? If somebody offered me a multi-million-dollar professional sports contract today, I wouldn't take it because I loved my life that much. And I noticed that was not an experience that a lot of people were having. My peers were like still talking about their sports days as if it was their glory days. And you know those guys and those girls, because they go from running a 4.9 to 4.8 to 4.7. Next thing you know, they were the fastest person in the world. You know what I mean? Like they went from being all conference to all world. And, you know, because their identity is still attached to it, man. And they're talking about it as if it happened yesterday. And it's like 10, 20, 30 years ago, right? They're still bragging about it as if they're it. And that's just because to them, in their mind, their best days are behind them and not in front of them. And I said, man, this is crazy. You know, I said, I don't care if you're Michael Jordan. Your best days are always ahead of you because you take everything you were yesterday and everything you learned today into tomorrow. And so I started to share my message and my story with other people. And a lot of people were getting inspired. Oh, my gosh, this was amazing. I really loved it. But they weren't leaving transformed. They were coming up to me saying, man, you know what? I've had some mental health challenges too. I struggle with addiction too, man. And I would be like, man, thanks for sharing that with me. See you later. And so Second Chance Athletes became a vehicle to which we could actually provide additional support services around those people. When I would go and inspire with people with my message, Second Chance Athletes could provide ongoing support for whatever it is they were trying to accomplish in life and career and business. And so, man, that's who we are. And I'm grateful because I get to cross paths with some of the most amazing people like you, and I get to do addiction recovery work. And I tell this, man, I see people fresh out of addiction and bondage and some of these stories. I mean, if I read you some of those applications, man, you'd see it, man. Physically abused when they were younger, taken advantage of, just horrible, man. Like this, you know, the top 3 things you want in life. Somebody just said, I want hope. Like, to have hope be a want. It's just like you've been through so much in your life, you don't have hope. But then I've talked to people like you and David Meltzer and Michelle Patterson and Jack Canfield who endorsed my book. And it's like, my life is amazing. And I can't believe, Ken, that I tried to end it.
Yeah.
And I always tell people, you don't know what's on the other side of your pain. You have no clue what's on the other side of this pandemic. Don't you quit when it gets hard because you feel low, because some people hurt you, or because you made some mistakes, because it ain't over till it's over, baby. And I tell you, as somebody who's lived the life that I tried to end, your life matters and you matter. Hang in there, my friend. We'll keep pushing.
Dude.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
I know. I'm fired up, man. You got me riled up. You got me hyped up, man. It's you or the coffee.
What's got you riled up is you came out on the other side of that, and man, I don't care what you believe. And I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to everybody. Yeah. I don't care if you believe that God is the universe, or God is Jesus, or God is Buddha, or God is whatever to you. Once you go through all of that, and you come out on the other side, and you're like, you look back and you're like, damn, I can't believe I made it. Yeah. Like, what? And you just feel awake, and you're like, and here's Nicole Young. Nicole celebrates 23 years of sobriety this month. She's a friend of mine. Like, wow. It's amazing, man. I'm not, we're going to sell your book, but I wrote a book a few years ago, and the subtitle of it is Turning Pain into Profit. Right. So
are you serious?
Yes. Yeah.
Dude, what? Do you know that's on my featured photo?
It is?
Yes, I have, because my TEDx talk was overcoming rejection, right? And I was telling people that you could turn rejection into revenue. And, you know, it was doing pretty well, my little PDFs, my coaching program. And then I was like, maybe some people can't relate to rejection, but we all can relate to pain. And so then I changed it to change pain into profit. So,
dude, that's where, look, I'll show, here's my book, dude.
Look at that. Look at that, man. Look at that. See?
Right?
See?
Turning page, dude, because once you learn how to accept that you're gonna have pain in life, man. The Buddhists have a saying, and it's one of my favorite sayings, and that is, in life, pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. We don't have to suffer, man. It's all going on right there. And so once you get through all that and you come out on the other side and you're like, I can't even like, that's what gets us fired up when we're talking to people about this, because it's like, it's real. There's hope.
Yeah, exactly. Hope is dangerous.
Hey, I'm sure you felt this. If there's hope for me, right? It's available to anybody. Trust me.
Because, but people, this is why I'm transparent about my story, Ken, and I know this is why you are too. Because people will look at us now and they'll go, "Well, of course, you're gifted, you're talented, you got platform, you got books, you know people." And I'm like, this is like chapter 9. You go see chapter 1. Go see chapter 1 when I was writing my suicide. Like, go see chapter 1 where I was treating women like they were disposable. Go see chapter 1 when I had such a big ego that life was all about me and I didn't care for people. And go read that chapter. Go watch me deal with low self-esteem and insecurities. You think I can speak? Go watch the time where they used to do icebreakers, Ken, and I used to leave the room because I was so insecure about my voice. Go listen to thoughts in my head that used to hate how dark I was. And every time someone turned off the lights, they'd say, "Where'd Darryll go? All he can see is his teeth." Go look at me when I was so insecure to smile because people would say, "Look at this gap. See how big this gap is," and they would make those paper field goals with paper, and they would roll it up, paper footballs, and they would say, "Darryll, open wide. Let me kick a field goal through your teeth." Wow. And then I didn't even want to smile, but now my smile is unique. See that? It catches your attention, so it might not be good for a Colgate commercial, but it sure does serve well for a scroll stopper on Instagram. So whatever is wrong with me, it was my pain, Ken, and I turned it into profit. I turned the smile into a brand.
Wow, dude, that's so powerful. So you did have a transformation.
Absolutely.
In that day, that 24-hour period. Excuse me. And the next day you said you went to church and they were talking about suicide.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. How long had it been since you'd been to a church?
I had went not to like a couple months before then, but if you take out that couple months that I was going before the attempt, it was 12 years, 15 years. It was a long time. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was agnostic. I wasn't really I didn't do organized religion.
Were you so talk about when you went to church, what happened?
Well, so okay, since we're there, I'll finish the part of the story, right? So I'm in the psychiatric unit, and the doctors are asking me the question that they have to when they admit you. Why did you want to kill yourself? What made you want to take your life? And I'm just crying and screaming, "Leave me alone! I just want to die." And they couldn't get an answer out of me, and they left. And there was this nurse, I call her the woman with green pants, because at that point I had been crying for so long that my eyes were swollen shut, and all I could do was open them up just a little bit. And I saw that this nurse came in. She had on green pants. She grabbed me. She wrapped me in her arms, and she said, "I don't even have jurisdiction to be back here in this part of the hospital, and I don't even know who you are, but God sent me back here to tell you that you need to say yes to him."
Wow.
And I was like, say yes. Like, that's not going to heal my back. That's not going to do anything for me. I'm not with the religious stuff. Get this lady away from me. And I just kept screaming, "Leave me alone. I just want to die." She left. She actually prayed for me for about 15 minutes. My mother said it felt like 5. She left, and a few moments later, my grandmother, who's one of those church going, pinch your ear, make you go to church grandma. She cooked Sunday dinner, grandma. She had driven from an hour and a half away from Jackson to Detroit, where I was at in the psychiatric unit, because my mom had called her when she was driving me there, and she had sped there. She's out of breath because she ran through the hospital. She said, "Darryll, I've been praying for you the whole way here. God told me, you know exactly what to do. You need to say yes to him.
Oh my God, dude.
So it's the
What?
same request the second time, and I couldn't deny that it was God's way of trying to reach to me. But grandma was a religious person. She was supposed to say something religious. And so I said, leave me alone. I just want to die. And my grandma prayed for me for about 5 minutes. And finally, I just heard this still small voice whisper to me and say, son, will you say yes? And it was something about hearing my Heavenly Father's voice, our Heavenly Father's voice, that gave me the strength to mutter out a yes, Lord. In the moment that I said yes, Ken, I promise you, the depression that I was under for years immediately left the room. Now, this might sound hard to believe, but there was witnesses there. My family was there. My eyes actually got healed, and I could open them again. And it felt so good, Ken. You know what I did? I kept screaming, yes, Lord, yes, Lord, yes, Lord. Because I felt so free. I was like a lion out of a cage.
My goosebumps have goosebumps right now.
You want to know what happened next? Doctor comes. Doctor.
This is boring.
The doctor comes in the room. He goes, "What's going on?" Like, because he hears this guy screaming, and I kid you not, word for word, I said, "I was running from God, and I just put my faith in Him." You know what he said? He said, "Send this guy upstairs."
Wow.
Hey, so it makes a good story now, but it got me an extra day in it. He said, this guy is crazy, man. But it was true. It was true, man. And I went and I went there and I saw the pain of people in the psychiatric unit, and the place was terrible that I went to. I know there's better care facilities out there, but the one I went to was terrible. They put me in this room, and I don't usually tell this part of the story, so your audience gets something special, but they put me in this room with all these people, and we were supposed to have mental health time with yourself. And they got this black and white old television show playing. It wasn't funny. It wasn't like Gilligan's Island or something. It was like something that nobody even watched. And then they gave me a coloring sheet with like 3 crayon choices, and there's people all around you. And so, you know me, I'm like, dude, I'm not about to color. I'm like trying to talk to somebody. So I try to talk to the nurse, and I don't know if you guys ever seen Shutter Island, where like he thinks he knows he's sane, but like everyone thinks he's crazy. That's what it felt like. Like everyone there thought I was like multiple personality disorder or schizo, so they weren't talking to me. So I'm like, no, man, you gotta understand. Like I'm a former athlete, you know, I'm a college student, you know, I just was going through some rough time. I was running from God. I said, yeah, and they were like, okay, sir. Okay. I'm like, no, like, please, like, talk to me, please. And then so I tried to talk to some of the people that are around me, and then they were freaking out, man. Like, you know, and I'm trying to be sensitive to people's issues. So I'm not trying to make fun of this, but this was really happening to me. Like, I was talking to this one girl, and I was like, hey, man, you know where you're from? And she was like, yeah. And she was like, what? I will eat you. I was like, what is going on? Like, oh my God, right? And then this one girl asked me for money because she wanted to call her loved one or whatever. I was like, oh, sure. And I gave her money. She went and bought snacks with it. Oh my God. So this place was crazy, man. And I kid you not, within a period of 30 minutes, Ken, I was the only one left in the room with the nurses. Everybody else had a breakdown, had to get more meds, got shot up, had to go to the room, like crazy. And I was like, oh God, I'm going to go crazy in this place. And then it hit me. This place is meant to drive you crazy to see if you're crazy.
Wow.
And so I caught the game, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to keep my cool, hang in there. And I just said, please, God, do not put me next to someone where I'm going to be scared, because I haven't slept in days. And I was like, I need sleep. And I was like, please don't put me next to somebody that, you know, I'm worried they're going to like get up and stab me in the middle of the night or something. Right. And I got the only roommate that was in there for, you know, something that was, you know, he was in there for PTSD. And man, this guy was great. And he said something that really changed my life. And I take this with me. So we're laying, and you know, we got the curtain divider, you know, and we're in the same little room. And I'm like, man, you know, I'm just trying to figure out why God has me here, you know, because I don't really know, and trying to figure out who I can help. I'm trying to talk to people. And he goes, hey man, has it ever occurred to you that maybe you're here for you? No. But he said that, and I took inventory, and I said, okay, God, what are you trying to show me? And then I started to see the pain of people around me, and And it was like the first time in my life, honestly, that I saw who I could help instead of how I could be praised. As an athlete, it's all about my accolades, my success, being the next Michael Jordan. And I looked around and I said, man, if these people know that there's hope and there's purpose for them, man, I wonder if I share this story as an athlete who won a championship, who played with some of the best players in the world, that I had mental health struggles, that I was labeled and am labeled clinically depressed, I can change lives.
Yeah.
First time it occurred to me. And that began this journey of where we are today, my friend.
Dude, how long ago was that?
2011.
Wow.
Yep.
So 9 years ago. Wow. And so what have you done since then?
Too much. I worked at Central Michigan University. My degree's in integrated public relations. We helped rebrand the university. We won a couple awards for higher education marketing. I branched out on my own, did marketing consulting for a while. Then I started doing donor development for United Way. I pastored and revitalized the church from completely nothing, not even expecting visitors, to thriving and multi-generations there. I moved from Michigan to Georgia and started Second Chance Athletes, a holistic transition company that helps athletes follow our transition roadmap that helped me go from suicide to success. I speak, TEDx speaker, obviously published author, and married a wife that's way smarter than me.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
She's a smarty pants. She's got her master's degree in organizational leadership and administration. I have 3 beautiful daughters, and not just beautiful, but they're talented, man. And I recorded a song called "We All Need Hope" with my daughter from my 30th birthday.
Wow.
That was cool. Somebody, I always get out, what would you tell your younger self? And I was like, man, every time we say that, we say stuff that we only could understand as adults. And I was like, what would I tell a kid? And so I put it in a song. And we called it "We All Need Hope," and so that's out there. It's for free, so I'm not selling.
Where is it on YouTube?
It's everywhere, man. YouTube. It's probably.
Come on, man. For real?
Yeah, it's out there, man. It's called "We All Need Hope."
Hold on, I'm looking it up. We're gonna play it.
That's fine with me, man. That's fine with me. We all need hope.
Is it under your name?
It should be. Yeah, We All Need Hope. Darryll Stinson. I've got a friend that's on there too. So
is
yeah.
it copyrighted?
No, man, it's completely. It's completely free, man.
We All Need Hope, featuring Darryll Stinson, Ava, and Mr. Cool Life Living.
That's us. That is us,
dude. All right, so before I play it, I wanna ask the audience to drop a 1 in the comments if they want me to play this right now live. You gotta drop a 1, otherwise you can just go look it up later. So Darryll, you have Tammy saying yes, Ken. Garrett, your screen. So I think we're gonna end up playing it for everybody. Is it a video or just the song?
Just the song.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's a cool graphic though. They get to stare at my face if they want to.
Everybody's saying 1, so we're gonna do it, man. We're gonna do it. Can you see that? You see the comments?
Yeah, I see some of them. The ones that are on Facebook. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, no, in StreamYard you can click the comments.
Oh yeah, I see it. I see Justin and Danny and Tammy and Scott and Charles and Nicole. That too many ones. That's not one. That's like 1 billion and something.
Doesn't count. Lot of ones. So here is this it right here?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Let's do this. Let's do it.
This is for every kid out there who's struggling with depression. You feel like your problems is too dark and you don't know how you're gonna make it through. I'm here to tell you that. You know we all need hope. This is for the kids that don't know. All we gotta do is hold on. You know we all need hope. This is for the kids that don't know. All we gotta do is hold on. You know we all need hope. This is for the kids that don't know. All we gotta do is hold on. You know we all need hope. This is for the kids that don't know. All we gotta do is hold on. Hold on to your faith, don't let nobody shake it. And if they talk about your clothes, don't even let it faze you. And if they talk about your looks, don't even pay attention. You ain't gotta listen, they entitled to their own opinion. Here's what I discovered, it's the people who talk bad about everybody else do it to feel better about themselves. So just be you and don't you worry about a thing. The storm's gonna come, but dance in the rain. Keep your head up, cause life will try to push you down. Every smile is just a frown, turn upside down. So count your blessings, you got the power to turn every loss into a lesson. So quit stressing, cause bad days don't mean that you got a bad life, and sad days don't mean that you got a sad life. Bad days don't mean that you got a bad life, cause you still got hope. You know we all need hope. This is for the kids that don't know. All we gotta do is hold on. You know we all need hope. This is for the kids that don't know. All we gotta do is hold on. You know we all need hope. This is for the kids that don't know. All we gotta do is hold on. You know we all need hope. This is for the kids that don't know. All we gotta do is hold on. Yeah, fitting in is overrated. Everybody trying to be like everybody, man, that stuff is foolish. Just be you and own your differences. You still a gifted kid, even though you got flaws and got weaknesses. So dream big and don't let nobody tell you what you can and you can't do. Cause you keep trying to be like everybody else, and I'm telling you, that ain't you. That ain't you. You were meant for more. Greatness is within you. Tell your haters that bullying and success is on the same menu. You don't need what you don't have for God to bless you. No money, no dad around, you still can be successful. Forget being popular and being cool. Newsflash, that's not why you going to school. You're there to learn and make your dreams come true. Just remember, I believe in you. This is for the kids that don't know. All we gotta do is hold on. You know we all need hope. This is for the kids that don't know. All we gotta do is hold on. You know we all need hope. This is for the kids that don't know. All we gotta do is hold on. You know we all need hope. This is for the kids that don't know. All we gotta do is hold on.
Kicking knowledge on the daily, they say I'm a cool teacher. Kicking it with the class while rocking some cool sneakers. Not blasting them dual speakers, just speaking to you basically. The only way you learn is if I teach you till you wait and see. Dreams become real with purpose in the pain. That's healing in the feeling. Dancing in the rain, a situation that you deal with. Lion-sized problems don't run, but now you're killing. Now that's 10 feet deep. Be cool and be you, so remain unique. Maintain your passion in your path, then take that leap. And if they hating on your plan, tell them wait and see.
You know we all need hope. This is for the kids that don't know. All we gotta do is hold on. You know we all need hope. This is for the kids that don't know. All we gotta do is hold on. You know we all need hope. This is for the kids that don't know. All we gotta do is hold on. You know we all need hope. This is for the kids that don't know. All we gotta do is hold on.
Are you okay? I don't want you to be sad. It's gonna be okay. You still got hope.
Woo! There we go.
Wow, dude. That is freaking awesome, man.
Thank you.
Wow, that is so awesome. That was your
My
daughter on there
man,
too?
when she was 5.
Dude.
I know. I'm so proud of her. The favorite part at the end, I literally told her, I was like, man, this needs something else at the end. I said, sweetie, what would you say to your friends if they're having a real hard time? She said, are you okay? I don't want you to be sad. It's okay. We still got hope. And I'm like, this is perfect.
Dude, you're bringing tears to my eyes. What's
Yeah.
up with that? That's amazing. Wow.
Man, it brings tears to my eyes too, because you got to think, this is my 5-year-old daughter. And if we all go back and start thinking when stuff started getting jacked up for us, it probably when we were younger, when you sit at a lunch table and nobody sits by you and you feel left out, you start to wonder, am I enough to be liked or loved by others? And for me, it was when, I was made fun of for being a black guy that quote unquote talked and acted white. And to be able to create a sense of security in my daughter at an age where I lost my security was surreal for me.
Wow, dude. I've never had chills so much in any interview, man. This has been incredible. So yeah, Nicole, I agree.
Yeah, we will. Hope tour. You see the graphic, so we're gonna go on a Hope tour, and do a keynote and a rally for the students. And we know what's really cool is we released the song, and I did it. And my wife got me studio time just as a gift for my 30th birthday. So I did it like not even really wanting to promote it or anything like that. And since we recorded in the studio, I was like, might as well put it out there for the world. So we put it out there, and man, I had adults calling me like, "Oh man, I'm listening to this with my family. Like, we needed this. This was helpful." I mean, the truths there are timeless, and so yeah, absolutely. We'll go share it with whoever it can help.
Wow, dude. So I don't even know what to ask next. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So
Yeah.
You know, I always like to ask this. Well, let me ask the question I was going to ask you earlier.
Yeah.
You know, as kids, because I truly do believe what you just said, and I bring this up quite often on the show. You know, there's always some. It could be an event, a person, something that kind of molds us into what we become as adults.
Mm-hmm.
When I say that to you, what comes to mind? Was there an event or a person that kind of pushed you in the direction of what you ended up becoming as an adult?
Yeah, many people, they say it takes a tribe or a village to raise a child, and I was definitely raised by a village. You know, my mom, my grandma, my aunts, my uncles, my father, my stepmom, you know, my stepdad. I mean, all of them played a role. All of them helped. I stayed with my mom, my dad, my grandma, my friends. You know, growing up, I was just a wild card, and everyone played. I can't really give credit to one person because everyone played a role in a season in my life that was very important, that I needed, and I learned from all of them. But I think, you know, my mom was always I think is where my love comes from. You know, my mom, and then me and her just had this conversation because her birthday was October 26th, and we were talking, you know, and I was just telling her thank you for everything she did. There was a period for like 5 years where my mom didn't buy herself anything.
Wow.
Because she always made sure we had clothes and shoes, and my dad and my mom had joint custody. They were never together. And then I have two sisters on my mom's side, and their dad wasn't in their life. And so she was, you know, basically taking care of these kids by herself with a little child support from my father. And so to see her sacrifice taught me how to sacrifice, taught me how to love. She always put us first. And then my dad, was just inspiring. He was a phenomenal athlete as well. So I wanted to be just like Dad. Wanted to be better than Dad. I still think I was better than him. But some people have different opinions about that. And then, you know, my dad has evolved. He was always inspiring me because they grew up like I thought I was poor, but they were dirt poor. Like they shared socks for Christmas. You know, like I had my own socks. You know, I got PlayStation. You know, so they always made sure I had gifts under the tree, but my dad and them shared socks. That was like, that's not a joke. That was a real life thing. And so to see him come from a family of 6 that was that poor, and his dad wasn't even in his life. Wow. And to still find a way to be a father figure to me and buy a home and so his work ethic, I think, is what I took from him, and diligence. So those were two people. And then, you know, I have a pastor, Pastor Travis Hall. He's got a cool podcast called Transformational Truths with Travis. And when you hear one podcast, you'll see why, why he made a difference. Cause this guy like speaks and tweets, you know, like it's like everything he says is so profound. Wow. And so those, you know, the tribe and those individuals is who I definitely think.
Dude, you have such a powerful story that I definitely want to, I want to do an Amazon Live with you.
Yeah. Let's do it.
It's something I don't do for everyone, but I'd love to have you come on and talk about the book. And
I'll be there.
So let me ask you, in your opinion, I ask this question every time. What do you think holds, and the number one answer is fear. So you have to do better than that. What do you think holds most people back in life from experiencing success and happiness and freedom? And what do you think holds them back?
I'll give you another F. And I could say many things, but this is the one that's coming to mind right now. Familiarity. Specifically with oneself. We are so familiar with our failures, our mistakes, our insecurities, our weaknesses, that we forget that there's greatness in there, that there's gifts, there's talents, there's love. And if I had to put a root on familiarity, I'd say the root is comparison. Social media has been bad to us. To look at people's marriages and compare their highlight reel to yours, to look at people's personal life and compare their highlight reels to yours, even to look at a person's talent and compare it to yours, it discounts your talent. It's funny, I'm actually kind of spoiling it a little bit for my second TEDx talk. I'm mentioning this in my second TEDx talk. So this is fresh. I literally just finished writing it this morning. And I said, you know, just because somebody's more talented than you, more gifted than you, like can love better than you, is more kind than you, doesn't mean that you don't have love, gifts, kindness, and talents.
Right.
And so it's amazing how just by comparing yourself to someone else, how you start to discount you. There's always going to be somebody better, right?
Yep.
That's like LeBron, like comparing himself to Jordan, and I think Jordan's better. And then going, well, I'm not worthy to be a basketball player. It's like, no, dude, you're good in your own right. And I think that kills people. And they look at it, and there's nothing amazing about my ability to cook. I'm not the best cook. There's nothing amazing about my ability to speak. I'm not the best orator. Like, blah, 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 blah. The comparison is killing us, and it's producing this deep-rooted insecurity in the hearts of people. And if we could just learn to love ourselves and enjoy ourselves and be grateful for what we have, for who we are, big gap, crooked nose, big head, ashy hat, tattoos and all, the world would change. I promise you. If everyone watching this, and who will watch the replay, if everyone watching it just decided that they are going to be convinced that they matter, and they're going to be generous with what they have with the world. And I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about love, personality, bringing their full self into the world. I'm telling you, our world will change. Right. And I heard this quote just to bring it home. They said, to the world, and I can't remember who said it, but they said, to the world, you may just be somebody, but to somebody, you may be the world.
It's the truth, man. Some truth right there. So true. You know, I had, when I met my wife, we I don't know, I was in business for a couple of years, met my wife, we decided to open an office, and I was going to quit freelancing and we'd hire people, which we did. And you know, months down the road, I had one of my employees walk in my office and say, "Hey boss, there's some dude looking in the windows of your SUV out in the parking lot." And I'm like, well, tell him to get the hell out of here. What are you doing in my office? He goes, well, I was going to, but he has it blocked with a tow truck. And
oh God.
Yeah, that was a bad day. and you know, so especially right now, I have a good friend of mine runs the suicide prevention hotline for the state of Ohio. He's the head of the whole deal. Mm-hmm. And him and I were talking, and over the last 8-9 months, dude, the suicide has been, you're muted, by the way. It's been through the roof. And you know, people are some people are barely hanging on.
I know.
And so, you know, like the day I had that car repoed in front of my employees, I felt like And I was sober. I'd been sober for a long time. I thought this is the worst day of my life. This is awful. It's never going to change.
Yeah.
You know, what do you say to the person? Maybe they just had their car repoed. Their lights just got shut off. They can't even buy some top ramen. They can't, they're at the end of their rope and they're barely hanging on. What do you say to them in this moment right now to help them over that hump?
Yeah. The first thing I would say is I believe in you, and I've been there. I know what it's like to feel hopeless and helpless, to be surrounded by people, but still feel alone. It sucks. It's painful. And you feel like you're weak, but it's actually just the opposite. The fact that you're struggling doesn't mean that you're weak. It's actually significance that you're strong. You don't believe me? Name your favorite Rocky movie, superhero movie. Isn't the best scene where all odds are against them and they find a way, the strength, the willpower to keep pushing? Isn't it amazing to watch? You're no different, my friend. Life may be hard, but you're tougher. That's what I would say.
That's awesome, dude. Darryll Stinson, my new brother from another mother.
From another mother.
Come on, man. Thank you, dude. I really appreciate you coming on, being so open and transparent and sharing your story, your love, your heart.
Yeah.
Dude, you're the real deal, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you for having me on. Thank you for everyone who gave me the gift of your time and tuned into our humor, our love, our laughter, and our tears today. Pray and hope that you guys take something away or took something away or laughed or something. And we ask that you share it with everyone you know, because that's how we change our world collectively. Is one message, one thing could break somebody out of a train of thought that's destructive, or could introduce a new thought that can help move their life forward. So we ask for that. And I'll give you a cliffhanger to tease you with, Mr. Ken, because I actually have another song that I wrote for recovering addicts, because I read the statistics of those that actually maintain long-term sobriety. And I got angry and I said, I don't believe that that's going to stay that way. I believe we can defy the stats. And so I wrote a song called Defy the Statistics, and it's a complete opposite feel. The last one's like light and jingly. This one's like tough and rough and rugged.
Uh-oh.
So next time you can play that one.
It's not out yet.
It's out.
Oh, it's out.
It's out everywhere. Yeah.
Dang. Is it on your YouTube channel?
I don't know if that one is. That one's actually for sale because we licensed the music. So it's like iTunes and Spotify. You can listen for free probably, and it's everywhere where music is. So
yeah, well, see, I can't play if it's copyrighted. I can't play it on the show because they shut it down.
Do they really? I own the copyright.
I get it, man. I know, but they just hear the DTMF tones, and they shut it down. It's crazy.
We'll go listen to it. It's amazing. And the best thing about it, right? So my rap is like, okay, but the best thing about it is the guy that sings the chorus. He lost his mom to suicide in a very tragic incident, and terrible upbringing, lots of pain, kicked out of school, and this kid has a musical gift. So when you go listen to this kid sing, I mean, you're like the next Justin Bieber. Like, he sounds amazing. Wow. And to be able to afford him that experience as a person who would never have had access to a studio to record professional music is like amazing for me. Like,
so it's called Defy the Statistics.
Yeah. Yep. And so he sings this chorus. It says, do you know what they say? That we can't make it this way. They told us that we'll never make it, but they don't know the God we serve. And then I say, I came out the womb defying stats. They was like, I don't know about that. I came out the streets defying stats. They was like, don't know about that. Then we say, don't know about that. 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 We still defying stats. Hey, don't know about that. 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 We still defying stats. I said, they labeled me a statistic. I think they missed it. I was selling drugs just to make a living. I was dealt a bad hand, but I still ripped it. I turned a couple of ounces into a whole business. You couldn't tell your boy nothing. I was so driven. I was trying to make it to the league, headed straight to prison. Ain't it crazy what we go through to get what we want while creating a life we don't? It's stupid. And so you got to go listen to the rest of the song. It's pretty amazing. So thanks for having me, y'all. We're going to end with a bang. Love you. We're done now, guys. Log off. Go eat lunch or breakfast, wherever you're watching from.
This was freaking amazing, dude. I appreciate you. Don't hang up on me. Hang tight for a minute. I'm gonna end this. I'm gonna end this. Thank you to everyone who's watched. If you haven't shared this out yet, I will shame you publicly if you don't. I'm just playing. I won't do that. But share it out, man. Everybody needs to hear this story. Darryll, you rock, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. All right. You guys have a blessed day.